But the 3 different days, I turn on the radio, and that's exactly what he does. This, I thought they were reruns, man. That's how poor Hannity is, man. Like, did I already hear this?
Bob, I had to ask you, and I think you brought it up. I don't know. We were talking offline. I ended up with I thought, well, how's the best way to get to this? Because we were saying uh, the story just kind of popped up and kind of came out of that conversation. So I found this. I don't know if you saw this or not. It shouldn't be a surprise that Fox nearly sweeps the top 100 highest rated cable telecasts in August. It's no surprise that that Fox is at the top. They kind of run that whatever. And what was weird for me as we were talking about this, I found this story because I said, well, what are the ratings? Because obviously the most watched show is Tucker Carlson, total audience of 3.3 million viewers, followed by Hannity at just over 3 million. So really not that much of a difference. Let's say 300,000 in a month. So you're talking about, let's just say ballpark 10, 15,000 a night. Not that much of a difference. But we were talking, what has happened with Sean Hannity? He's like non-existent. Like no one cares. Like I haven't heard anything. I mean, look, I don't watch any cable channels right now, and you can vouch for me. In years, I don't watch cable. Like cable channel news is a no-no. To me, Fox is more of a 4-letter word than MSNBC is. That's how much I despise Fox. CNN is so ridiculously fraudulent and lacks any responsible reporting that they're a complete waste of my time. And then I cover stuff just to the internet, and every now and again there'll be a clip. I haven't heard anyone show talking about Tucker comes up all the time, right and left, liberal lefty shows, Tim Pool and right of Tim Pool, Tucker Carlson. He's interviewed, he shows up. I think he's just sat down with Dave Rubin here recently. Where's Hannity? What has happened? Where Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Sean Hannity? How does he have 3 million viewers and no one cares?
Yeah. Well, he's been around the block for a long time, but I think he has a history of being number 2, right? For all
Yeah.
those years on Fox till Bill O'Reilly got canned, he was always number 2 to Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly gets canned for whatever shenanigans he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right around the time Donald Trump comes into office, Hannity and Trump are buds.
Yeah, they're golfing buddies.
Yeah, so he has Trump on all the time. Even today, nowadays he still has him on post presidency. And he was getting ratings going through the roof. Right around November last year, Tucker took over. Right after Trump
it
got
all
home.
shifted.
Yeah, and I think part of the difference is, other than the fact that Hannity doesn't really bring anything to the table. I watched him last night just because I knew this topic might come up.
we folks, we really were discussing, like, when was the last time Hannity has come up in anything relevant? When has he had an interview or a show or something that is the buzz that people in the political circles were talking about? And we really could not think of anything in months, almost a year.
Yeah, he really has no original thought. I watched him last night, and he's doing exactly what he did during the Clinton years and the Obama years. He's just on there trashing Joe Biden nonstop. It's just like, it's all repetitive.
He's ignoring the stuff that Trump did by bashing Biden and vice versa, and it's just typical stuff.
It's typical, Republican Party rah-rah,
Mm-hmm.
While Tucker comes to the plate with a maybe a more controversial show, but by far more interesting. And I think a lot of people recognize that. And then when Tucker's show is over at 9, I think a lot of them are just turning it off, not wanting to deal with Hannity next because they already know what they're going to get. Let me tell you a story about Sean Hannity on the radio.
Oh, here we go. Let me get my drink. My unofficial sponsor of the show, my Dr. Pepper Zero, which I love greatly. And someday they'll pay me for this endorsement.
I primarily try to listen to podcasts, but sometimes I'm too lazy and I just flip on the radio.
It's awful.
There was a period of about a week and a half. I turned Hannity on 3 different days within a week and a half. And each time I turned it on, this was a couple months ago when the election fraud stuff was being talked about, the Georgia law and all that.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
And Hannity would keep on going on saying, well, Delaware's law is, and you give this whole litany of things about Delaware's law because it's, Biden's state. But the 3 different days, I turn on the radio, and that's exactly what he does. This, I thought they were reruns, man. That's how poor Hannity is, man. I'm like, did I already hear this?
Well, now we know where Todd Schnitt got his outline for, because he does the exact same thing. It's like he does the same thing every single day. It's like these people, like, why does anyone want? First off, there's more stories than we could get to. We could talk for hours. We could literally pick a topic next. I have like 6 different things, Bob, that you could pick from, and that's what we'll talk about next. I have notes and stuff, and it's like there's so much information. So many of these stories are being sucked. All the air is taken out with the Middle East stuff and the COVID stuff. So all this stuff's going on. How is it that Hannity couldn't even accidentally, though, fall backwards into something relevant? That's still just amazing to me. Like accidentally. I right guest on something.
I honestly believe he's just not that bright. I'm not trying
You're
to be
such
mean.
a fan. You're such a fan.
No, but I've been watching this since the mid '90s, or listening. He's been around a long time, and he's not very good. I don't know why I keep on going back. I think it's for material, I guess. But
let me tell. I asked someone about Hannity because we were talking about it, and he said my response to this person was, "He's like a broken record." Mm-hmm. There you go.
It is.
So that was this person's opinion of him in that show or whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, look, I don't watch it.
Horrible. It's horrible. It really is.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I be the first to admit, but I don't watch any of them. I don't. I think the last time, man, we had cable. Oh my gosh, years, and it was pretty much after. So I want to say it's probably around 2016 or 17, and I flipped on like the Fox channel, and then I switched to MSNBC, and they were talking about the difference of the topics were so radically different that neither side are talking about anything that's related to the other one. Like I was like, wow, it was such a big shock, and I'm like, I'm just done. It's all about throwing red meat to the people that have the letter after your name, and I just can't be a part of it. I don't have any desire.
And just another quick comparison between him and Tucker is even not only does Tucker just cover a wider variety of topics, more interesting, but compare the guest list, right? Hannity is going to have Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Lara Trump. You turn on Tucker, it's Glenn Greenwald, Douglas Murray, the guy you just talked about.
Dave Rubin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna see some different voices that are not part of the same shtick, sort of, over and over and over again. I got you. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I said, he hasn't even accidentally been relevant.
No. He's horrible. But I got to give a hat tip to him, though, man. He makes so many gazillions of dollars being horrible.
3 million viewers.
Yeah,
he's number 2.
And he's got the number 1 radio show now since Rush died.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's also just criminal. That's criminal.
Well, he makes untold millions every year.
Yeah.
For being mediocre.
Hey, we're News Talk with Brandon and Bob. We're here to tell you about some of the facts so you don't have to waste your time watching CNN.
We don't want you wasting any time with CNN.
Or Fox or MSNBC or some of these other guys that are making a whole lot of money.
Et cetera, et cetera.
It's not paying.